Good evening, jammers. Welcome to another episode of the Jams and Cocktails Live podcast. I'm your host, Brad Brock, and man, I don't know about you guys, the weather has been absolutely beautiful the last few days. This is the weather that I live for in Florida, and I only mention it because all good things must end, you know, so we're out here enjoying these beautiful clear days, these 70-degree temperatures, the 70-degree highs, and I know that it's either going to get really, really hot or very, very cold soon. And so these are the days to live for. Enjoy them. That's my TED Talk. We're moving on. I cherish weather like this because I know it's fleeting. You guys, tonight on the show, we'll be chatting with rockin' singer-songwriter Vern Daysel in the studio tonight. Awesome. We're going to be sharing a few tracks from his brand new solo album, Call of the Wild. We got around to name that tune to play with all of you, and we're giving away 2 free tickets to the Thunderfoot show this Friday night at Terra Firmata with special guest Vern Daysel opening up the night there. So all that and more here on the Jams and Cocktails Live podcast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in live with us tonight, and to those catching the show later on, we thank you as well. Please hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and like, follow, and share all of our stuff anywhere else that you might be watching the show, be it Facebook or YouTube or wherever. And also consider subscribing to our Patreon page and throw us a little jingle if you so desire. That would be nice too. But before we get down to business, as always, we're going to kick this thing off with our shot of the week. And it's a good one. It's a good one. Our shot of this week, and I actually saw this shot in a restaurant menu, believe it or not. Jordan was there with me, and I saw it, and I was like, this shot looks amazing. So we're giving it a try. This is the Bananas Foster shot. I don't know what a Bananas Foster is in real life, but this is a tasty one. So it's 1 part Fireball, 1 part banana schnapps, and 1 part whipped vodka. How could you go wrong? You shake it nice, and you strain it to a shot glass. And there you have it. So here we all are. And it's very important to note, and sadly to note, and I don't want to start the show off on a sad note, but it can't go without mentioning, we lost a legendary guitarist and musician yesterday, and the world just found out about it today. The incomparable Jeff Beck passed away suddenly yesterday after contracting meningitis. He was 78 years old, so... we're going to do this shot for Jeff Beck. Cheers.
For Jeff.
Cheers, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. That's all booze, you guys.
Yeah.
That's all booze in there.
We tasted it.
Yeah. What do you think?
There's a lot to think about. There's a lot of flavors going around. You know?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I feel like the cinnamon really kind of cuts that sweetness from the banana and the whipped. But if you don't like cinnamon, it's going to hit you in the wrong way. I thought it was pretty good.
At least it masks the schnapps.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's had a bad experience on schnapps.
Yeah.
When they were about 15 or something.
Do you remember anybody ever drink Aftershock? Aftershock, it was like a cinnamon liquor, like schnapps. And it came in this crazy, like, volcano-looking bottle. And, I've thrown up so many times on that.
Oh, dear.
I don't think, A, I don't think it exists anymore. And B, I don't think you could, I don't think you'd be able to find it anyway. It's, I've never seen it again since I got out of high school. It probably did get banned, putting too many high school kids in the hospital. But yeah, so visit jncpodcast.com and hit the Shot of the Week link to see what we're planning for the following week. And then you can join us in all the fun. You can get all the ingredients delivered. The ingredients? I'm just shortening words because I feel like it. The ingredients, you can get them shipped right to your door by our friends at Drizzly.
Drizzly.
Yeah. Jeff Beck, of course, famous for the Yardbirds and his own stuff. 8 Grammys over his very long and storied career. Took over for Eric Clapton in the Yardbirds, in fact. But yeah, that's crazy. Well, we wish his family all the best and hope that they recover quickly. All right. Well, before we get down to business here with Vern, I always feel like the best way to introduce a musician to people who don't necessarily know them is to share some of their music. So right out of the gate, you guys, we're gonna hit you with a Vern Daysel tune. This is from an older record. This is Light It Up. What record was this from, Vern?
Shooting the Breeze, my very first album my first solo album from 2016.
2016. It doesn't seem so long ago, but we all know very well that it was a very long time ago.
Yeah, that is crazy to think about.
Right?
Doesn't seem long ago, but then
it totally is. Anyway,
wild.
Aside from that bummer, this song is not a bummer. Check it out. The video is really good too, and the song is awesome. This is Vern Daysel. This is Light It Up. We'll be right back. couldn't think of a better tune to introduce you to anybody, really. Like, if I was going to throw him a video, I'd be like, you guys want to know about Vern Daysel? Check out this song first. This is the one, Introduction 101. And that was your first solo record?
Yes.
Oh my God. Now, we'll talk about this on your brand new record, but I know that you are a multi-instrumentalist. You play tons of instruments. And did you play all the instruments on that recording for that one?
Everything except for bass.
Everything except for bass.
Yeah.
God, we were talking when we turned the mics off while you guys were watching the video, but that kick drum came in. I don't know if any of you are listening to this in headphones or on a sound bar, but like, we have our headphones in here in the studio, and I was like, all the hair on my arm stood up when those drums came in.
It's a lot of hair.
Yeah, it's a lot of hair too. I'm surprised it didn't hit me in the face. Seriously, that was a great track. Like I said, I don't think I've ever listened to it in my headphones before. That's awesome.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And that was the first one. And now we're on, this is the fourth record that you've released?
Well, my third solo.
Third solo. Yeah, that's right. And your first since you've been here naturalized into the grand old US of A, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, before we get into all the nitty gritty of this new record, how are you? How have you been? I feel like it's been a minute since you've been here. This is a new environment for you to come and hang out with us. But so how's everything
Everything's good,
going?
man. Yeah, thanks for having me on, and I really like the new studio. Everything looks cool. It's really nice.
It's definitely it's an upgrade. Now, the other studio, of course, had its charms, but this is a much more conducive area to do what we're doing.
Yeah, you've got a nice setup here, so thanks for having me, man. Yeah, man, everything's been going well. Had a good 2022.
Yeah, solid. Yeah.
Very busy here. Did a lot of shows. I know you also do a lot of shows.
Not as many as you guys, for sure.
But yeah, we went all over the place. It was my first time out of state, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
It's awesome.
Considering how many shows we do in Florida, we expect us to do it more. But hopefully this year we'll get out of state a little bit more.
Yeah, I thought I saw a graphic on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere with all the places that you guys have played, and I was like, this is incredible. It's basically outlined the entire coast of Florida and then dotted some spots in the middle there.
Yeah, the whole thing is red. I just got the Google. I don't know if you get them the Google update.
Oh yeah, where
your
we've
Google Maps
driven
update.
the whole way. Yeah,
So yeah, it's pretty much everywhere in Florida.
it's amazing.
But you know what? It's cool how Florida changes when you go to different areas in Florida. How even like a little bit of a culture difference and people
Huge.
change and the landscape as you go more north. The trees change and colors of the trees.
Some people don't realize that Florida is so long. When you really count the Key Islands all the way down to Key West, and you take it all the way up to Tallahassee, or even cut across to like Gainesville, right? Gainesville is in the Panhandle. Am I an idiot?
Yeah, you're kind of an idiot, but it's close enough.
Yeah, or like
But you should have said Jacksonville.
yeah, Jacksonville. That
But
one.
then yeah, Gainesville's over.
Yeah, like
or
in
west.
the Panhandle, right? The West.
Yeah.
What's the furthest city over there? Panama City.
Pensacola.
Pensacola. That's the one I was thinking of. But yeah, if you do all that travel, man, it would take you forever to traverse the state. And yeah, there's a major culture shock as you progress from the very south to the very north of Florida, and yeah, the scenery changes as well. So you really get to experience it all, and you guys certainly did with your travels. Yeah, I saw that graphic and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's super colorful, man. I enjoy Florida. And we actually did that trip where we played the Keys one day and the next day we played Jacksonville.
No.
Oh wow.
Oh my God. That's.
And then we came back home to like Fort Pierce,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a good home base. I wouldn't say it's in the middle, but it's certainly a good jumping off point anywhere you want to go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you have other people to drive. You can all take turns, kind of. So
Right.
one person isn't driving the whole.
Yeah, while the other guys drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody's got to drink.
someone's responsible.
To keep the driver awake.
Yeah, exactly. Well, good deal, man. I'm going to quickly get this little plug out of the way. because we're giving away some tickets a little bit later on the show. So if I understand that you're playing a solo show on Friday night at Terra Firmata, opening up for Thunderfoot. Just I believe they're a Molly Hatchet tribute, right?
Cool.
And they're the real deal because Molly Hatchet actually came out and was like, you can't call yourself a Molly Hatchet tribute out, So they're actually, it means they must be good enough to get Bobby Ingram's attention.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it's not too shabby.
Nice.
So they had to they can't say that they're the Molly Hatchet tribute band, but they are in fact. And from what I've heard, they're very good. So you'll be opening up the show Friday night. What time does that kick off? Do you know?
I think 7.
Nice.
7?
Nice.
I think so.
Doors probably open at 5 as per usual. You get a couple hours to pregame before the show. But we have 2 tickets to give away later on in the show. And I'm going to make it very, very easy for you guys. Super simple. I pinned the comment to the top on YouTube. But just type in the chats and comments, I want tickets. And we'll write your name down. Same for you guys over on Facebook watching the show. If you just type a comment there on the video, I want tickets, Jordan will write down your name, and we're going to have Vern pull a number somewhere later on in the evening, and whoever's name pops up, we'll get in touch with you, and we'll make sure you get those tickets. But we certainly hope that you stick around for the live stream tonight. So, yeah, I want tickets. That's all you got to put in there. All right. Are you ready to get down to the nitty gritty?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. So, I was listening back to our first interview together, and that was back in 2020, if you can believe it. Here we are in 2023. That was 2020.
Oh, wow.
And we were smack dab in the middle of the strictest COVID restrictions, including most of our gigs being totally canceled completely. And at that time, we were really unsure what the future held for us in the music world and beyond. And we talked quite a bit about that in that interview. And some of us believed that live streaming, house concert was going to be forever. That was going to be the new thing forever. But it's interesting to look back now like a fortune teller, because that wasn't the case, and those of us that made it through have kind of mostly gone back to normal, albeit a bit more vigilant in this life now. But it's been a couple of years now for you, and 4 years in the making. You're here with a brand new full length. This isn't an EP, guys. This is a full length album, and this is Call of the Wild. Check it out. I have my signed copy.
Oh.
Of course I do. Vern, how cold was that water?
It was pretty cold. It was right after the hurricane.
Oh,
The
wow.
latest hurricane. So, and I really the thing is I got done recording and mixing and everything, and I was happy with how it sounded. And then I had to do photo shoots and everything. So I had this idea of doing this photo shoot in the water, but then the hurricane hit, and I'm pressed for time because I wanted to get this thing out in December.
Right.
So one day when it stopped raining, my wife was a great photographer. She came with me, and we went down to the river there.
No,
On the island.
down to the river.
Yeah, so the first couple of photos was done in some of the side rivers, like the really muddy, because I wanted the green feel.
Sure.
And that was freaky, man, because you get in and you go like that deep into just mud. You just go into sludge, man. And
Hopefully you weren't wearing flip-flops or anything, because you were going to lose them for sure.
I was wearing those like water little shoes because I was scared of fish hooks and stuff, because it's just fishing line and hooks everywhere.
Yeah, loaded.
So I don't want to get an open wound while I'm in there.
Yeah,
It's a good call.
Yeah,
And-
it's smart all around.
I don't want anything swimming up inside of me either.
That sounds like the single off of the next album. Swimming up inside of me.
And that'll be my swing album.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was the first couple of photos, and it was pretty cold, and my wife kept telling me to chill out because I'm like, you can clearly see the cold in my body language. And then we moved to that section and took a couple of photos, and she didn't think it came out really well at the time until we put them on the computer, and then we went through them. We're like, hey, these look pretty cool. You know, we can work with some of these.
Yeah.
So that's the story.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so funny, man. I have a friend. They're called the Thomas Wynn and the Believers, and they're out of Orlando, and they're very similar to your vibe. And they did a single where they were all in the water, just like that. And you resemble Thomas. I'll have to show you a photo later. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's such like a full, if you guys did a show together, I would lose my mind. It truly, honestly, it would blow my mind.
Make it happen, man. Make it happen.
I might have to make it happen. I might have to send some music to him and see if we can pull that off, because they're amazing. I'll send it to you as well. But yeah, so Call of the Wild, here it is. Vern off camera said it was this cold.
Yeah.
It was this cold out there.
He's talking shit. I meant it was this cold.
Right. That's the best fishing stories. They just get, So we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but it's true that you on this record, you played all the parts and produced it completely by yourself, right?
Yes, there's only 2 songs that I didn't play the bass on, which my buddy Quentin Askus who now resides in the UK, phenomenal bass player. He helped me with the bass on those songs. But the rest, I was just like, I'm going to do it myself, It's what happens when you have like limited resources, and you want to get stuff done, and you know what you want. You teach yourself how to do certain things, and you hope it comes out good.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of doubt that goes with doing things yourself, especially mixing and stuff, I've been mixing for a long time, but I've never really mixed a whole album that's my own, you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. And especially when you have like a bunch of songs that you're not only trying to treat individually as special, but then you have to put them together and make this cohesive project. I've done most of my albums, I've mixed myself, and I'm not by any means trying to say that they're great by any means, but the process of doing it is really daunting, and to your point, it is a little stressful, because you spend so much time mixing one song and then you move on to the next, and it's like a huge jumbled mess, and you're like, well, I've got to do this 10 more times, and then I have to go back and mix all the songs together. But what you've done on this album is incredible, man, and the diversity of the tunes is really awesome too.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I always, whenever I bring out music, I always strive for diversity. It makes the album interesting. There's a couple of acoustic kind of songs on, and songs that are maybe a little bit more heavier, some songs that take you on a journey, and some songs that are a little bit more simple. So,
yeah.
And I like that. Some bands bring out albums and it's really kind of boring because the whole thing's just the same.
I read a couple of album reviews for this record and your other records as well. In my prep for the show, and that was something that a lot of people said was it wasn't boring, and they will compare it to other bands that they like that the records are boring, because it's just like their same vibe over and over again for 10 songs. And this album really is not that at all. It comes out swinging with Feed Me, and then and then into, was it Wild Girls, the second track on there?
Yep.
And then it goes to Bandits Road, which is really a breakdown. And I was really blown away because I didn't realize that you have such a country vibe, and I don't say like like Luke Bryan country, that's not what I mean, but I would say maybe more in the vein of like a Chris Stapleton or who else am I thinking of, but guys like that, that's a bit more soulful. It's kind of borderlines on is it soul music or is it country music, and Bandits Road was a really good one. What was the other one that I was blown away by? Rain was another good one where I was like, oh, this is really digging in. And good stuff, man. And you told me this, so I knew what was coming. But the first time we chatted, that you're a drummer by trade.
Oh yeah.
And some of you guys out there might not know this about Vern, but Vern is a amazing drummer.
Thank you, man. Yeah, well, I started off playing drums when I was about 14, and I absolutely fell in love with it. You know, it changed my life, obviously. You know, because here I am. Now I'm still doing music.
What would you have been if you never got into music? What do you think your life would be like?
Well, before music, I wanted to be a professional cricket player.
That's right.
But no, and now thinking back, you know, I might not have had the best like genetics for what I wanted to do and all that stuff, you know. So, and music just completely engulfed me. You know, I come from a musical family anyway, but yeah, at that time I thought starting at 14 was a little late.
Yeah, but
you know, I'm glad I started when I did, and I was completely obsessed.
That's awesome. I pretty much started right around when I was 14, maybe a year younger, but not much. I don't even know what I wanted to do before I got into music. To be honest with you, I had no ambitions in life. And all of a sudden the bug bit me, and I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But let me see. I want to get back on track here in my own notes. I'm going off on a tangent. This was a question I had for you. I know that you mix a lot of the stuff at home in your home rig, but do you record most of the stuff there, or do you kind of outsource the studios around town to record like drums or vocals or things like that?
Drums, I usually go to Raincat.
Oh, yeah.
Jensen.
We love those guys.
Oh man, they just are such a pleasure to work with, and you know they book me for a lot of vocal sessions over there too, so they're great. But everything else I pretty much do at home. You know, I do like vocals. You know, I build a little booth in my room, like blankets and stuff around me, and
photos, or it didn't happen. We gotta see the makeshift.
I always take photos
booth.
to be like, oh, this is gonna be cool to post, and then I look at the photos, I'm like, oh, this looks so bad,
It's
but not bad enough to be cool, you know?
Right.
It's just,
That's fun. But listen, like it's effective. It's effective. I used to do the same thing, man. I'd put not towels, but like comforters, you know, bed comforters up in my closet. And just
and all
sing
that
into
matters
it.
is what it sounds like and what the listener can.
100%.
And if they enjoy it, I've done my job. I'm not saying it's the best sounding album ever, you know, because obviously I listen to it and there's things that I would change about it, you know, because I'm so
Sure.
close to it, and I'm like, oh, I don't like the way that sounds. But that's
Yeah,
just the
sometimes
way
you
I
got to
am.
like put it away and come back to it a month
yeah.
later, and you know, if you have that kind of time, and then listen to it. But you've been recording these tracks for years, you know, because I remember Rain and Gold Digger coming out. We were in the other house. That was almost 2 years ago, right?
Oh yeah, I started with COVID when it was the lockdown.
Great opportunity to do things. Terrible
Exactly.
reason.
And you know what? I just told myself I can't have any excuses. Because you tell yourself like, oh, you've got these things, it's never gonna work. I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment in Fort Pierce. You know, what am I gonna do? So I'm like, no, you're gonna make it work, man. You're gonna push it. If it doesn't sound good, just don't release it. And it came out okay.
The shot, yeah.
Yeah, and it came out fine, I think. And so those 2 songs in particular, I started recording when I was like during the lockdown, and then every now and then I would do a little bit by little bit, but with doing all my other solo shows and working for Switch N Whisky, you know, doing the album for them and all that stuff, you know, it took a lot of time, so I didn't really have that much time doing my own thing. And then last year I said, okay, cool, I need to bring out an album this year whenever I find time. And also, you know, like, because I play almost 6 times a week.
Sure, yeah.
And I don't want to do another session of singing on my off day, you know?
Bro, you're preaching to the choir,
'Cause
man.
my voice is, most of the time, my voice is fatigued.
Yep.
So, but I managed to get it done eventually. And it was a lot of work, but I had fun doing it, a lot of frustration. And I'm super happy with it. I like the spaces that I discovered while I was writing the songs, you know?
the songwriting on this album, Vern, is just exceptional, man. And it really, compared to your other records, which I've listened to and love, this is like a grown-up album. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
The storytelling is it's so grown up compared to the record we just heard the tune from to this one. When you jump that amount of time in 2016, like we said, it doesn't seem like it's so far away, but man, the growth that's happened between that time and what you've experienced it comes through. It's evident. The songwriting on this record is crazy good, man. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because the album opens up with a single that you just released pretty recently, relatively recently, last year at least.
Yeah.
Feed Me. And I want to talk a little bit about it, but I'm going to let everybody listen to it first. And because this song hit me a certain kind of way right when it came out, and then listening to it again, I was like, I think I get it. But we'll see if I'm right. So we're gonna take a little musical interlude while you guys listen to "Feed Me" from the brand new album "Call of the Wild" by Vern Daysel. Here it is. That's it right there. Don't go away, you guys. Enjoy this tune. Feed Me. We'll be right back.
You're riding on a high called ego, serving up a high buffet, sipping on your lies, but you don't know. I don't believe a word you say, drowning on your own. Still you ask for more. Blindly on your throne, feasting on the empty praise, but still you say, feed me. You're lost inside your own illusions, the king of your own fantasy, swimming in your own solution, lost in a world of make-believe, drowning on your own. Still you ask for more, blindly on your throne, feasting on the empty praise, but still you say, feed me. Drowning on your own, still you ask for more. Blindly on your throne, feasting on the empty praise, drowning on your own, still you ask for more. Blindly on your throne, feasting on the
So good. Feed me. So, I'm gonna put this out there,
Cool.
and I want to know if I'm dead wrong, right? So when I first heard this song, I immediately what I pictured was a social media influencer. That's what I envisioned this whole, and then I watched the video with the lyrics that you guys just got to see out there, and I was like, oh my god, this fits. Empty praise. It was just, I was thinking of somebody on social media that just loves all the likes and does everything for likes and does everything for that kind of attention. How far off am I?
Not that far off, because it is about a narcissistic kind of person who just loves attention and thinks they are the bee's knees, Yeah, I've worked with so many. You've probably, like, being in this music industry, especially, you get to work with some crazy people, some people who are.
It's true.
And sorry to say, I'm a singer, but especially vocalist.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
And a lot of them are like, not just vocalists, bass players too, guitar players, everybody, especially guitar players. But I guess that's in every industry, But
let's not forget about harmonica players, because you never want to piss off the most influential musician of our generation who plays harmonica. You don't want to do that, because then you're a douche. That's a little inside joke. Only wait.
Brad got called out.
Oh, nobody got it. Some of our regulars might get it.
I got it.
But yeah, I don't know. Harmonica players are usually pretty nice. I mean, that or a piccolo player or a tambourine player.
Oh man,
maybe they're the worst. Maybe they're just in disguise.
I played at Riverside Cafe yesterday, and I got this guy that came up to me in my break. He's like, "Hey man, you're pretty good. I'm a harmonica player myself." And as he says it, like,
pulling it right out.
Stands right in front of me, looks me in the eyes, and starts going. I'm like, and I'm just standing on stage like, dude, man. I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna ask me for a jam, And obviously, this guy's just got like his one harmonica with him. Usually the pros carry those little suitcases with all the keys and everything. This guy's got the ones like, hey man, what song? Let's jam anything. I'm like, and I just tried. I really smoothed it over like that. Nothing's gonna happen. So eventually, we didn't end up jamming, which is just play dumb.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you kind of have to just be like, what key is that thing in, man? What song are you trying to play? Yeah, and then you can go and sit over at your table and play along with me, and it's all fine. I just recently had a whole rant about it on a couple shows back. I had a guy at the Tipsy Tiki. But this was different, though, man. He climbed up on the stage. The Tipsy Tiki stage. He climbed up on the stage, not by the stairs or the huge ramp that's available. No, I could see out of my peripheral vision that he was climbing up on the stage and trying to get my attention. So he was standing, and I look over in the middle of a song, and same situation. He just shows me one single harmonica, and I was like, I didn't say a word to them. All I did was shake my head, no, no. And he trailed off, and then later his buddies came up and accosted me, calling me a douche for and telling me that he was the greatest musician of our generation, as is the quote. And I was like, well, he was like, you blew it, buddy. And I was like, I'm certain that I'll recover. He told me that he was in the Pure Prairie League and all this other stuff. Could have missed my big chance, Vern.
Exactly, man.
Should have just let him play with you.
If he'd had. To your point, if he'd had any more harmonicas with him, I might have been like, I'm in the key of whatever. Get on up here. I don't have a microphone for you, and everybody's 25,000 feet away from here. But let's do this.
Yeah, and I feel like those guys give harmonica players a bad name.
I think so.
And it's becoming evident that everyone has a harmonica story. A tale of someone coming up with their harmonic. And just the audacity of people. It's like, just just enjoy what's happening. Why
Just-
do you have to
yeah,
be a
just
part of it?
Take the no.
Go sit
Take
down.
the no. Don't go complain to your friends, and certainly don't send them up to me while I'm wrapping cables at the end of the night to tell me how I blew it. Anyway, enough about harmonica players. What's more important is Feed Me is about harmonica players. That's what we're getting to.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, no, it's a great tune. I thought that was a wonderful way, Vern, to open up the record. It's a great song. It hits hard. And yeah, it really kind of sets the mood for the whole record. What made you choose that one to not only release as a single, but kick off your whole album?
Well, it's definitely something I think about is album order. I don't know if that's something people care about in today's world with how people just stream music.
Sure.
But I still care about it. And, because if you listen to a good album, there's definitely a way that the songs should be structured. And it tells the story of the whole album. But with Feed Me, I just liked it that the whole album starts with this badass drum fill. It's almost like Moby Dick from Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
So, and it just kicks in. It's just it's perfect for that.
I love the guitar riff too. It's very memorable.
Thank you.
I also felt that way about Light It Up too. I thought that was a very memorable guitar lick that you put in there. The very first song that we played tonight, because it was not what you expect. I don't even know what you would call that, and that was a terrible representation of what it was. But it gets stuck in my head. A lot of your guitar licks get stuck in my head, and Feed Me's one of them.
That's good, man. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to beat a dead horse there. No, only because Zach Jones is actually tuning in. He said random harmonica players can go to hell, and I agree with you. I agree with you. Philip said it's probably the same guy. But could be. We kind of mentioned a little bit earlier that you really dug into some country roots on this album, and tunes like Rain, who Joe on Facebook said is their favorite song, and Bandits Road we also talked about. Very, very much like this deep country thing. Like I feel like if Stapleton would have released these tunes, they would be #1 hits on the country charts. Absolutely. So what I want to know is has that been something that's been in your soul, or is it something that's kind of grown on you over the years?
I love country music. I really do.
You heard it here first, folks.
I love outlaw country. Like Waylon Jennings is my favorite. I like Merle Haggard, George Jones, those kind of guys.
Sure.
Stapleton is one of my top 3 favorite singers.
A wonderful entertainer, songwriter, singer, absolutely.
Oh, and when I was trying to develop my voice, he was a guy that because back in the day I tried to be like the 80s guy. I loved 80s music, and David Coverdale, Joe Elliott, those kind of guys that can sing way up there. Here I go again. And I love that stuff, but it was just like same things. It's like the genetics just aren't there.
I feel you, man. I get it.
And as much training or whatever I try to practice, and it just never came, And I think I actually damaged my voice at one stage because of that stuff.
No.
And then I've always loved people like Warren Haynes from Government Mill.
Yeah.
Those kind of soulful singers that, even though it's like you would think he doesn't sing that high, but if you try to sing a like Government Mill song, like a Warren Haynes song, it's actually quite hard.
Yeah, right.
But just
it only takes a couple notes in the songs to be like, oh, that's out of my range.
Just because he's got such a deep, badass voice, it's just so those kind of singers. And then Chris Stapleton came along, and I just started sitting with my acoustic, learning all his little inflections and try to do what he does. So yeah, that's how I got on. But with writing, I think that's what you actually asked me about. Yeah, I'm a fan of country writing. I like the lyrical. I think country is a very like lyrical, like genre.
Yeah, very storytelling.
The music can be simple sometimes, but the lyrics really important.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, I feel like sometimes that's lost on today's pop country music or bro country, as they're running around calling it. I don't even know. Like, I mean, it is what it is. But there's still some great music that comes out of the country, or some great music that comes out of Nashville in general. I still love all that storytelling stuff. And yeah, these two songs, Rain and Bandits Road, really kind of reach out. Gold Digger too. That one, I was expecting something different when I heard it. I'd heard it ages ago when you released it, and I didn't realize that it was kind of a ballad, you know, like, or I wouldn't say it was a ballad, but kind of that soulful thing. I was ready for a Vern Daysel rocker, and it didn't happen when I re-listened to it today.
Yeah,
But,
that's definitely the bluesy side.
Yeah, I loved it, man. It's awesome. Good deal. Just to reiterate, it's a really great album through and through, because I really enjoyed the way that you went from smash those drums and the guitars in your face to like these really laid back storytelling songs. You guys, you can find Call of the Wild anywhere that you stream music, but if you really want to support Vern, and we really hope that you do, go to his website, verndaysel.com, and buy a physical CD. Those CDs are all sorted out now, right?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. So you can get a physical copy. How much are they running for over there, Vern?
I think they're about $10.
$10 with shipping and all that fun stuff. Listen, man, in independent music, the single best way to support an artist is to buy their physical merchandise, be it a t-shirt, a physical CD. Buy the CD, put it on a shelf, put it in a display box, whatever you want to do. Use it as a coaster. And we were kind of talking about that as well. You know, whatever you want to do with it. Mine is signed, so that's going somewhere where whenever Vern pops off, I can sell it on eBay and pay my mortgage. But yeah, buy the CD and then you can stream it anywhere you want, guilt free, because streaming pays you what, 0.0018 of a penny for every stream. You literally have to stream something 1,000 times to get any money. But buying a physical CD is the way to go. We're gonna do one more track from maybe not one more track, but another track from Call of the Wild. When we come back, we're gonna talk about Vern's new band, Tombstone Chevy, and this is a great story song. I can't wait to hear a little bit more about this tune as well. This is Cougar. You guys will be we'll be right back. Don't go away.
I thought I knew the way, but boy was I wrong. It came to me after the rain, blowing in the morning sun. Master of the game, not wasting any time. Out on the prowl with just one look, I could tell what was on her mind. She keeps it tight. love. A body talk spells it out. No need to talk at all. And she's a fan of rock and roll. She knows all the words, but she sings to me in a different way. Show that'll rock your world. She keeps the time. Hold on me. Takes control with both hands on the wheel. She's been here 1,000 times, but tonight's the night she caught my eye. Well matured, yeah, fine red wine, she's a looker. Every young man's fantasy, yeah, she makes a bad boy out of me. Doing things that I've never seen, she's a cougar. Oh, she makes me sing. She's been here 1,000 times, but tonight's the night she caught my eye. Well matured, yeah, fine red wine, she's a looker. Every young man's fantasy, yeah, she makes a bad boy out of me. Doing things that I've never seen, she's a cougar. Oh, she makes me sing.
Awesome, good stuff. That's Cougar. We call it the Wild album there from Vern Daysel. You guys, Vern's playing live Friday night at Terra Firmata, opening up the evening with Thunderfoot. We have free tickets to give away. All you have to do is write in the comments, either on YouTube or Facebook, I want tickets for Friday night show tonight at or not tonight, but Friday night. Friday night at Terra Firmata, and we'll put your name in the drawing. And right after our Name That Tune game coming up in just a minute, we'll pick one of you to win tickets. So only if you can actually attend the show. That would be wonderful. But just put I want tickets in the chats and comments, and Jordan's going to write your name down, and we'll do that. Yeah, so something we got to touch on, Vern. You know we got to do it. We were all heartbroken when Switch N Whisky broke up. You know, we so many people love the band. You guys were guests on our podcast, but it's not lost on me that bands go through transitions and people's got to go their separate ways. Totally understand. And this was back in November, and you guys put out a very lovely statement, just saying exactly that. You know, it just wasn't possible to carry on. Any elaboration on that you'd like to give us to put our souls at ease?
Well, as you know, it's very difficult to keep four guys together. You know, so it's a hard business that we're in, trying to be a musician. And some people have they think that's what they want in life, but it's not for everybody. It's a hard life, man. It's a brutal life. You get rejected every day, and that stuff adds up. And you know, and then you're with four guys or three other guys, and you have to everybody has to be on the same page, and it's just not always possible. And eventually, those things come to a head, and it all blows up.
Yeah. It's like corralling cats.
Oh yeah.
So I go into one-man band thing. The only ego I have to deal with is my own, and sometimes it's a challenge. I have been told that my drummer is my better half, though. Right, Jordan?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Confirmation. But no, yeah, we're sad that that you guys have called it quits. Obviously, it was a very special time. At the very least, we had a great EP from you guys, great music, and a good time. But that's not the end of the road, is it? Because now there's a new group together. You've consolidated to a trio. We're talking about Tombstone Chevy. And you guys are picking right up and carrying on. Not that I thought you would otherwise, but or wouldn't otherwise. But yeah, tell us a little bit about this lineup, and I'd especially like to know where the name came from.
Well, yeah, man, we really had to hit the ground running with this band, and it's me, obviously.
Wait, are you in that band?
And it's Kobe and Marcus, which is like I couldn't ask for better people to work with, to do this project. And we all had to learn about 50 songs in probably 10 days to get to pick up some of the Switch N Whisky gigs that we've lost, to try to carry on and make a living. And especially Kobe, who never really played bass,
Yeah.
Who transitioned perfectly into bass, and he didn't like it at first.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a bass player. and I think he's a good bass player right now.
Well,
Nice.
listen, Kobe is a phenomenal guitarist and just a sweet man to begin with. I've known him for years, and was so stoked that he got together with you in the first place. But yeah, switching from guitar to bass is a transition. You said he's done well. It's funny. I remember we ran into each other. I think it was at Tipsy Tiki. This is probably months ago now, which is hard to believe. I feel like it was yesterday, but time is fleeting, as they say. Yeah, we were kind of chatting about everything, and you were like, I don't know what the future holds in terms of a lineup and instrument arrangements. And I was like, well, if you ever need somebody, I was like, I can't grow my hair out to be as beautiful as all of your hair, but I can wear a hat and we can go from there. I can sling a bass around. But I never got the call. I never got the call.
Sorry, man.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm over it now. It took me a little bit of time and some therapy, but I'm over it.
Come around.
I'll still play bass in my one-man band.
Well, you do a good job.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take it.
Your band needs you.
The question though is are you looking to expand the trio configuration? I know it's way more cost efficient. Obviously, the smaller personnel, transporting and all that stuff. Getting into venues. It's always better the less you got to move around. But are you looking to expand instrumentation, bass, not drums, but keyboards, maybe anything like that?
For now, with this group, not really, because for this 3-piece, it's really all we need, and it's fun just doing the trio thing. But we will get back to where we play as a 4-piece. We'll probably do my original music.
Nice.
And the music that me and Kobe has written.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Good, because that was literally kind of right up to my next question. These segues are perfect, aren't they, Jordan? It's like we rehearsed this.
Yeah.
My next question, literally written here, is: do you have any ambitions to tour for your Vern Daysel original music? And you kind of answered that.
Yeah, 100%, man.
With Tombstone Chevy, because I was going to ask, do you put this music down just as a to get it out of you, and you release records without the outlook of touring? Because I've been in that situation. I've never properly toured for any music that I've released. I just got it out of my body and put it into the world, and that was good enough for me. I play them at my shows, but certainly in no desire to go out there and hustle an album or anything like that. But you should, because this is good stuff.
Yeah, no, I've definitely always kept that in mind. It's always been something that I've wanted to do, and now I've actually got an opportunity to do it. I just signed a distribution deal with a European company called Willow Creek Records.
Oh, nice. Where are they out of?
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah. So they will
good Danish over there.
Yep, good pastries.
Good pastries.
So they'll be releasing my album in Europe and all their connections they've even got connections in Japan.
No kidding.
So that's going to be a big help getting it out there. But we definitely want to travel the States. In May, we are definitely we're playing some festivals up in North Carolina.
Nice.
So we'll form a tour around that and just start hitting the road as much as we can.
Very
I love
cool.
that. Yeah, that's
Congrats. That's
Thank you.
cool.
that is very cool. I did read your post about that, and I was like, how sweet is that? That's a good deal. Could you imagine you guys over in Europe doing this whole thing?
Oh man, that'll be cool.
Right? Oh man, so good. Well, that's awesome, man. And I'm very proud of you. For what it's worth, I'm very proud of the music that you put out. This record did not disappoint in any way. I read several reviews on the internet, and everybody just raves, man. And you know, they all have very similar things to say, which means it's probably the truth. You know, it just hits hard, it hits right, and I think I was sitting with my friend Kevin McLaughlin. This was probably months ago, maybe a year ago at this point, and we were talking about you guys. And I was like, those guys. I don't know what it is, but they have it. I was like, and I can't wait to see it pop off. And you're doing it, man. I love that.
Thanks, man. I hope it pops off too.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, listen, we were going to take a break here for another song, but Jordan's got to get to bed because she's going to turn into a pumpkin.
Yes.
So we're going to play Name That Tune with you guys out there, and then right after that, we're going to give away some tickets. We're going to give away some tickets to Friday night show at Terra Firmata with Vern Daysel and Thunderfoot then. So we're going to test out your brain cells, and we're going to play another riveting round, of course, of Name That Tune. Jordan, she's always creating treachery. Didn't we have this conversation where I was like, it's always one of you guys. It's always you or Ellie or Derek that always makes me have to do extra work because you decide you want to switch everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tonight it's
We
you.
gotta keep you on your toes.
I guess. I'm always on my toes anyway because I'm relatively short and I got to stack up to all of you. To all people. Anyway, we invite all of our live viewers to play along in the chats and comments. Just to let you know, the last time that we played this game with Vern, he dominated the game. So he's back.
Now you set the bar too high.
I know. That's what I got to do. I got to knock you down a peg or two. In this game, we're looking, of course, for the name of the song and the artist or band that's performing it. I love this category. Tonight's category is Vern Dayselgangers. Yes.
What does that mean?
Kind of a play on word of doppelgangers and Vern Dayselgangers. These are artists or bands that Vern has been compared to, either in written reviews or I've been told verbally out in the world. So these are people that you sound like or that sound like you. And it's not just made up. These are things that I've read. So you may know them based on that. Some of these may shock you. Let's play. Are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. No, we're not playing yet. All right. Here we go. First clue in Name That Tune. Vern Dayselgangers. Here we are. When you see Vern chuckle like that, he knows exactly what the answer is.
Yeah, and you like how he tilted the board up so I can't.
Yeah,
I
so
can't
Jordan can't cheat. Here it is one more time, even though the comments are already flooding in. All right, while you guys are still guessing out there, there's still time to put "I want tickets" in the chats and comments for a chance to win free tickets to Friday's show at Terra Firmata. And Paul from the Drums and Rums podcast. So Vern has nice legs. Yeah. That's the clue.
It's a takeaway from this.
Yeah. What do you guys have here? Let's see it. It is ZZ Top. Lakes. What did you have, Jordan?
I had a blank slate.
Oh my God! How did you have a
I
blank
don't know. I should
slate?
have known that. I love ZZ Top.
Yeah. It was a great tune. Love
Yeah.
ZZ Top. Awesome. Very all right. Vern is not disappointing so far.
Living up to the hype.
All right. Here's the next clue in the Vern Dayselgangers category. So it gets a little tougher.
But your thoughts will soon be wandering the way they always do.
Here's that clue one more time.
But your thoughts will soon be wandering the way they always do.
And just to clarify, I'm looking for the name of the song and the artist performing it. So not the original. But yeah, the answers are already coming in. Flying in. You guys ready here?
Yep.
Vern. Yep. What about you, Jordy?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, let's see it. It even got the logo right. It is.
Mike, that's extra credit.
It is Metallica's Turn the Page.
I did bad. I'm just
What,
gonna.
what did you say, Jordy?
I put On the Road Again, Turn the Page.
On
I
the
even got
road
the name
again.
of the song wrong. I mean, just
Jordan, do you know who does that song originally?
yeah, Bob Seger, who's my boy.
Yep, from Detroit, where you were born. You even went to see one of Bob Seger's last concerts. How did you not know the name of that song?
I don't know.
Well,
I think my brain is shutting down. I'm not sure.
great. Just what I need. All right, next clue here, Vern Daysel this one came from a review that I read that they compared Vern to this artist. Here we go.
We got each other, and that's a lot more love.
Here's that clue one more time.
We got each other, and that's a lot more love.
Paul said he looks nothing like James Hetfield. Dayselgangers, not doppelgangers. It's a different word entirely. Look it up in the Webster's dictionary, Paul.
Gosh.
Webster's. All right. Everybody's in there with the right answer in the chats.
Locked in.
Let's see. No, it's okay. We're not going to slap you for giving it away. It is Living on a Prayer, Bon Jovi. Well done. Well done. Paul said, and he looks nothing like Webster.
Fun trivia.
Oh, we got trivia, Jordy?
John Bon Jovi and myself share a day of birth,
Oh,
many years apart.
I was going to say, is he your age or are you his age?
He is younger than me
If
by like 30 years. No.
Oh, great. I've been bamboozled.
Yep.
All right, a couple more clues here. Here's the next one on the list.
Break me down, you got a lovely face. We're going to your place.
Here's that clue one more time.
Break me down, you got a lovely face. We're going to your place.
Oh, the chat room is silent now. They were so good in the first three clues. Slaying it. Throwing them for a loop.
Do you know this one?
I don't know the name.
Oh.
And I don't even know how to spell the band's name, but I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay.
Paul said late 90s. Nope, that's not correct either. No, sir. All right. Jordan's very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited. All right, Jordy. What do you guys got here in the lounge? It is Buck Cherry, and it is Crazy Bitch.
Hey, y'all crazy bitch, but you fuck so good I'm on top of it when I drink.
Cover your children's ears. They don't need to hear that.
These comparisons are wild.
Seriously, bro, when I
You're
compiled
all over the place.
when I compiled it, I was like, okay. I was like, this is an eclectic mix.
No one knows what Vern sounds like.
It's like when they wrote these reviews that they actually listened to the album.
Shows you everyone's hearing is different, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, Philip told me I should have did the cricket sound. I know. I missed the punch. All right, we got one more clue here. And this one, I believe, is probably the closest that I saw.
Vern will be the judge of this.
Yeah, we'll see that. All right, here's the final clue and name that tune.
I know you, and you know me.
Wow, that clip was like perfectly clipped.
I know you, and you know me.
I feel like I can use that as a soundbite for something. Paul in there with the right answer. Everybody's feverishly writing here. Brian Ray actually got the Buck Cherry Crazy Bitch over on Facebook. Nice job, Brian. Well done. Our good friend Kevin McLaughlin, he is in with the right answer. Everybody got the right answer, but he had a good, funny joke. I'll share it with you once we share our answers. Everybody ready?
Yep.
I suppose.
All right, let's see what you got here.
Did I get the title right?
Oh,
You
did.
should probably leave.
I did.
Simple, better man.
I didn't. Well, I thought it
Jordan?
was either Simple Man or Better Man. I don't know.
No.
I want you to stay, so you should probably leave.
I should
Is that
probably.
the title?
It's
you
Chris
got it right.
Stapleton. Very nice. Kevin McLaughlin said you should probably leave Chris Staplegun. And I don't know if maybe his phone auto-corrected it.
He got it wrong.
Or if he,
Yeah.
but I'm going to give it to
Try
him
again, Kevin.
for creativity. Nice.
I think Vern got a perfect score.
We talked about it earlier about Chris Stapleton. And I was listening to some of his music today to pick for this game. And I was like, okay, I could totally hear it. I could totally hear the similarities. And Chris Stapleton is, if you're going to be compared to anybody, I'd be like, yes, I sound exactly like him. My God, the guy is a vocalist. He's unbelievable.
Yep.
He reminds me of speaking of soulful singers, Mark Broussard. Are you familiar with him at all? You should get into him, man. He's like the soul ginger. We're actually going to see him on Friday or Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night at the Lyric Theater in Stewart. And I've been following him for years. He's amazing. You would dig his stuff.
Yeah, he's very good. He's from what, like Louisiana?
Yep.
So he's just got like that Southern soul, like.
Yeah, he's
very good.
It's
He'll
great.
move you like Chris Stapleton. He has that like.
Yeah, so there's two people I got to put you on to. I got to put you on to Mark Broussard, and I got to put you on to Thomas Wynn and the Believers. Yeah, you'll love these guys. Great job, you guys. All right. Let's give away some tickets. Jordan, who wanted those tickets?
Was there anyone else? Because I'm not in the one chat thing.
I'm
I'm only in the Brad Brock one.
Let's see. We had Joe
Mm-hmm.
and Jordan.
And me.
And you. Joe.
Jordan.
Joe's getting tickets?
Yep.
Joe. Where's my button? Joe, are you still there? Joe.
Oh gosh.
You're getting tickets. You're getting tickets for Friday night at Terra Firmata to see Vern and Thunderfoot. Congratulations. Oh no, it's supposed to go now. You know what? I'm going to crop in. Oh, I can't really see it over there. We're going to show off Kate's statue too, because that's so cute. Oh my God,
Oh,
I
yeah.
destroyed everything over here, you guys.
You went all
I
the
got
way.
excited. All right, Joe, you can instant message us or direct message us, or I'll even just reach out to you and get an email address, and we'll send you those tickets. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show with Vern. It's gonna be a good one, no doubt. And you're just playing solo, right?
Yeah, just acoustic.
I love it, man. Yeah, the very first time we talked about this, the first time we had an interview, the very first time I ever saw you play was you just playing acoustic, and I believe it was at that place called The Deck and it was for some boat show thing in Stewart, and they had a nice stage and everything, and it was beautiful. And I was like I was coming on right after you, like loading in all my stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, this guy's amazing. How am I supposed to follow this?
You know what I thought about you coming up? Like, wow, this guy's got a lot of shit.
Yes. Not much has changed. Not much has changed.
I love your setup, man. I saw a picture the other day of you and your one of your recent shows, and it's so cool, man. You've got a whole little stage production thing.
Yeah. So, I have the one-man band. So the next step, obviously, is doing the one-man show. So eventually, I want to be able to run a light show on a pad that sits either directly in front of me or attached to my guitar, where I can just cue up light presets for whatever I want, and I could do it all there and run sound in the whole 9 yards, completely contained to me. It sounds pretty egotistical, but it's really just a challenge. I really want to be able to put on a full-scale production with moving lights and light cues and smoke machines and things like that, that I can cue up myself right in my little area. And so that's the next goal. I think this year is going to be the year that I do that. So right now everything's kind of autonomous. It just kind of does what it wants to do. But I think you might be talking about the Tipsy Tiki, where I put the lights up, and that's a great stage to kind of spread out and try things. And I really appreciate Will Goulet and John Nolly for giving, if you're a musician and you play there and you're not taking advantage of that giant stage to like try things and do cool stage stuff, I implore you to do it. It's a great space to do it. People don't harass you.
That's good advice and bad advice at the same time.
Perhaps.
Because you see too many musicians who are like, I've got space on stage, I need to use it, and they act like monkeys.
Yeah, well,
All of it.
Sometimes it makes for good entertainment. I don't know.
I think the picture I saw was actually you at Vine and Barley in Port St. Lucie.
Oh yeah,
and it's a really small stage, but you made it look really cool.
Yeah. It was probably New Year's.
Yeah.
I don't normally bring that rig out there, but I don't normally play on New Year's Eve because it's my birthday, and I was like, and they hit me up and they were like, you should come and play, and I was like, you know what, I will. I normally end up there anyway, so I was like, I'll come out and play. Sounds good. So I did, and I brought all the toys, but yeah, man. Where was I going with all that? I don't even know. Joe got her tickets. She won them. And that's it. Oh yeah, when I first saw you. That's what it was. And then you got off the stage and the sun went down and there was no lights at all. I had one floodlight that's on the ground behind you. And I was like, well, I'm really glad I brought that, because I'd be in the dark here. And that was the whole point of that entire story. And now we can move on. We're actually going to play one more song here from Vern. It's the second track on the album. It's called Wild Girl. We're going to say goodnight to Jordan. She's got an early morning, so she was kind enough to come in and hang out with us for a little bit tonight. She was going to totally throw in the towel and not hang out, but she came out with a sad face, and she was like, I feel bad for missing podcasts. And I said, you should. No, what did I say? I said, then don't. That's what I told her.
It's like the conflict.
Yeah, I was like, then don't miss it. And so, Jordan, we love you. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry you had such an early morning.
Yes.
Take a bow.
But it was great to see you, Vern.
Let's see you too, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan out. Okay, we've closed her off. Her camera's gone. And now it's just me and you, Vern. All right, you guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do our shameless plugs. We're actually so close to the end. And then we're going to send you on your way. But here's one more tune from Vern. This is Wild Girl. We'll talk a little bit about this song, too, when we come back. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Well, the dumbest of getting laid will lead you to your grave on the wrong side of the gun. She was just so irresistible, exercising my free will by being irresponsible in the name of fun. I could tell that she was dangerous, walking around with a list of victims that could not resist tattooed inside her thigh. Like a dog, I need that soft leash, all my money on her drinks. Never did I think that she'll take me for a ride. She's a wild, wild girl. Tequila shots, hot rods, and rock and roll. Like a deer in the headlights, I was blind. Call me a lucky man, 'cause that girl, she's mine. Well, trouble is a middle name, skin and dipping in the lake. She's a habit I can break, addicted to the rush. She's a beam, a light, a perfect mess. The thought of her getting undressed will leave a man possessed, just yearning for a touch. Wild, wild girl. Whiskey, meat, fast cars, and rock and roll. Like a deer in the headlights, I was blind. Call me a lucky man, 'cause that girl, she's mine. She can keep it up all night when she takes the floor. She will always steal the show, a bombshell that will make you blow. She's the one that knows that you'll be begging for more. Wild, wild girl. Tequila shots, hot rods, and rock and roll. Wild, wild girl. Whiskey, neat, fast cars, and rock and roll. Like a deer in the headlights, I was blind. Call me a lucky man, 'cause the girl, she's mine. Yeah, she's mine.
Wild girl. All right. So is there a specific story to this tune?
There's not a specific story. I just if you notice how the lyrics are, or the words just keep spitting out, you know, it's almost like that Garth Brooks "Ain't Going Down."
Oh yeah, that's
kind of feel.
Yeah, that's a great tune. Yeah, yeah.
And it's definitely, that song's also got a very country element to it.
Yeah, it sure does. I mean, I envision that song and Cougar from my country music line dance hall days. I could only picture those situations in these very distinct country music bars that I used to perform in all the time. One was called the Long Branch Saloon in Vero Beach. It's no longer there. I think it's like a Mexican restaurant now, but it was the only honky tonk around. And another place down in Jupiter, Florida that is still there and open, Uncle Mick's.
Okay.
And I believe I found both of these women that you're talking about there. That's where they exist. They're probably hanging out at Uncle Mick's right now as we speak. Karaoke night.
Exactly, man. And you know, both of us have played bars for most of our lives, and you see all these different characters.
Yeah, man.
And you have to do something with it, because it's, you know, you might as well write some songs about these crazy people that you see. And everybody knows the girl with the badass tattoos on the thighs, and everybody's like, whoa.
Yep. you have the song. I have a song, or several songs about these situations. Another one that comes to mind, Stephen D. Hunt has a great tune called Bike. And it's about another woman that is a biker chick and is, ready to take him for the ride of his life. It's a wonderful tune. But, yeah, we all have these stories, man. Yeah. And I have one called I Don't Want to Dance With You, and it's really just a tune about I saw it one night at a nightclub I was playing at, and when the band would go on break, because we weren't like an original band or anything, we were a line dance band. We got on stage, we played to clicks, and we played for the line dancers. So that was what we did. And then the DJ would come on and during our breaks and spin like club music or whatever, and you'd see all these chicks like on the dance floor just throwing it down. And all the dudes kind of lined up around the edge of the dance floor with their drinks, watching the girls dance. And a moment that stuck with me forever was this woman kind of came out of the dance pile and grabbed this dude, and he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go into it. He had his drink. So she took the drink out of his hand and set it down on a table or a banister, I think that was around the dance floor, and pulled him on there. And he just was kind of standing there while she was going crazy. And I was like, this is wild. And I was probably, 18 or 19 at the time. And this stuck with me forever until I wrote this song. And I Don't Want to Dance With You. And there was a whole, so we all have these crazy stories, man. You told me some, when Switch N Whisky was on with us, you had some crazy stories about this little town somewhere in Florida where it was about these ladies that were just wow. Do you remember that story? Oh,
man, so many.
I know there's so many. I know this, but it's stuck with me, and I can't remember it. But I don't know. You guys stayed over the night there, and it was like I don't even know if it was a bar or if it was like a house party. I don't know. I'm butchering it now. Go and watch the Switch N Whisky episode, and you'll hear the story. Man, it's been great hanging out with you tonight, man. I'm stoked about this album. I'm so stoked that people in Europe are going to get to hear it, and that you guys are going to play it out live. I can't wait to see that show when you guys pull all that together. Before we let you go, we're going to do our Shameless Plugs segment. So if you're ready to rifle off all the things that everybody should be looking for, be it music or otherwise, hit me. Hit me for our shameless plug.
Well, like yeah. I'm ready.
Do it.
Yeah, please. Just like Brad said, go stream my music on Spotify or Apple or Pandora or Deezer or Amazon or wherever you guys like to listen to music. My music will be there. If you guys want to buy some physical CDs, that's really cool too. Come to a show. I'm gonna, like he said, Friday. I'm opening for Thunderfoot. I can't even say that.
It's a crazy word, right? Thunderfoot.
At Terra Formata. And that's just going to be me acoustic. Saturday, Tombstone Chevy is going to be at Connolly's in Royal Palm Beach.
Great spot.
Yep.
Yeah, Connolly's is a great spot.
And if you haven't seen Tombstone Chevy yet, it's a treat. So come join us because it's a rock and roll party. We aim at keeping people on the dance floor. We play some cool tunes and it's really fun. It's just a whole fun experience and the band has a blast doing it. So yeah, that's all my plugs I have for you for today.
Nice. And of course, just to reiterate, congratulations to Joe for winning tickets to Friday night show there with Thunderfoot and Vern Daysel. I don't know where I'm at on Friday. I might have to pop out there. I don't know if I'm playing on Friday. So I might come out and see you. You know what, Joe? I'm going to take those tickets for myself. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, it's going to be a great show. And, I can't wait to see a Tombstone Chevy show. I can't wait to see it. I just want to read off some comments here before I jump into mine. Rick Steeb said he'll be there. And Sharia Katakowski, forgive me if I butchered that. She said she already has her tickets, so she'll be there. It's going to be a good night, man. It's going to be a good night. All right, for my shameless plugs, I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible, but the biggest news is that the JNC Destruction Crew and myself are now the official entertainment hosts of this year's Stewart Art Fest in downtown Stewart at Gazebo Park. So we're very thrilled that they reached out and we were able to put it together. That's going on Saturday and Sunday, February 11th and 12th from 10 in the morning to 5 p.m. each day. We're going to be introducing all the live music on the stage. So I will definitely be there. Jordan, hopefully, or will be there. Hopefully we can get the other two knuckleheads. They've already, because they have regular jobs. You know, I'm not rich enough to pay them a full salary yet, but hopefully we'll all be out there and representing. So come hang out with us. We're going to be handing out some JNC swag throughout the weekend and hanging out with all of you guys in person. And they have a great music lineup over the weekend. So you can go to artsfeststewart.org for more info on the event. And we're certainly happy to be partnering with Martin Arts on this. And we hope to see you there in February. This is not the last time you're going to hear about it. So we're hoping to actually get some of the acts on the podcast to talk about their music and, of course, the show there. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to our sponsors and partners at Code Rum, Hop Life Brewing, the Sneaky Tiki in downtown Stewart, the Bug Juice, bug repellent and skincare products. Our good friend Tim and Jess are behind that. Chesser Custom Designs, laser etching and engraving. Brad Brock Design. The guy's not very good looking, but he's expensive. So go to bradbrockdesign.com. And if you need anything creatively done, graphic work, video editing, audio editing, or anything creative, if I can't do it, I can certainly send you to somebody that can. It doesn't matter what it is. We'll get it done. That's what's important. So check it out, bradbrockdesign.com. Check out the Drums and Rums podcast put out by our good friend Paul Robertson. He's in the chats tonight on YouTube. And his weekly live streams on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Always a good time, the biggest happy hour and a half hour. So check out Drums and Rums. For you early birds, come hang with me in the morning for the Jams and Coffee morning show. Get your fix of news, talk, and local music. You'll hear a lot of Vern Daysel and on that show and other great local artists. And you can find it right here where you're watching this show on YouTube or Facebook. And I do it each weekday morning at 8 a.m. And tomorrow is no exception. So Jordan thinks she's got to get up early. I get up early every day, but it's worth it. Also, check out my one-man band show. You can catch that schedule at bradbrock.com. And that's my shameless plugs. Maybe. Is it? All right. I certainly hope that everybody enjoyed the show tonight. Vern, did you have a good time?
Oh, man, yeah. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, my God. It's great to catch up. I love seeing you out and about, man. I love getting to catch up with you from time to time, but this is great to have a proper catch up. Before we go, very important, I totally forgot. Vern brought us some super cool gifts. So, Vern, you're married to a wonderful woman, and she's incredibly creative, and she comes up with some stuff that it just blows my mind. And she's behind the photography you've done on your album, your videos, so incredibly creative, and she's so funny. And she has a company here called oh God, I can't read it. Critters of Clay, and you guys got to see this. I'm gonna blow it up to the big screen. Look at the detail on this sculpture. Look how cool that is. If you guys are listening to this on the podcast, you're missing out. Go watch it on YouTube and subscribe. But what does she name these guys? They have little names.
That's just one of her deadheads.
Deadheads.
Yeah.
It's like a witch doctor of some sort. How cool is that? And so thank you, Kate, if you're watching or watching later. Very cool. It will always and forever be on display here. Critters of Clay. How can people go and check out her work, Vern?
Most of her stuff's on the Facebook page. Just go look for Critters of Clay on Facebook or Instagram.
Nice.
You can check out all the creations over there.
So fun. I'm gonna put a link up so people can link out to that. She's got all kinds of stuff. She did a statue of you that was very cool one year. And she's got a lot of really, really cool stuff that she does. So shout out to Katie. All right, I just needed to get that out before we ended the show. But catch Vern Friday nights at Terra Firmata and go get his new album, Call of the Wild. You're not going to regret it. Give it up once again for Vern Daysel. Next week on the show, you guys, we're to Derek's delight, we're finally going to be eating the hottest gummy bear on Earth. It's Little Nitro. So I hope somebody helps me. But that's what we're doing next week. Until then, friends, take care of yourselves and each other, and be kind to one another out there, because it's a wild world, as Cat Stevens would say. Broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge, I'm Brad Brock. We love you. Good night.
I'm amazed how good this song did like this. Oh, don't you know, when the song is done, it's time to go. When the song is done,